that you guys are all having a beautiful day, night, wherever you guys may be in the world, and I hope that you guys are taking care of your energy as such. Right now, currently, I'm sitting down on my floor, bedroom floor, and I was thinking maybe I should just do a tarot reading on the floor. I like being on the floor. I keep mentioning that I keep doing a lot of like readings for the twin flames, etc. But today I kind of wanted to see what we can do for like self-love. So this will be more like a self-love reading. So Spirit kind of gave me the idea last minute, so I'm just kind of like jumping in. I don't really know what to expect. I don't think I've done a self-love reading. No, I have done many self-love readings because I always advocate for self-love in general, but today is just going to be more of like a chillax type of reading as such. And I'll always list these below in the box below if you guys always want to know what I'm using, but I'm using the manga tarot deck right here. Then I have the Tarot Sexual Magic right here. Okay, and I did have like a self-made sex deck as well as the Whispers of Love Oracle right here. And to use some clarification, I'm using the Gilded Reverie Lenormand Expanded Edition. So, and then I'm going to pull some charms, my little charm bowl right here. So I just kind of do an in-depth reading for self-love. This can be twin flames or light workers or empaths or starseeds, it does not matter. I usually like to keep my readings quite open, you know, because I don't like to think that we're just one facet or should just focus on one facet. Like I feel like it's good to like work on many different things kind of like at the same time, but also like I know that your intentions or your manifestations are a lot stronger when you focus on something one at a time. But for me, like personally, I just like to be able to focus on all four pillars of a house versus just one, if you know what I mean. So I'm gonna go, this is also another thing that I want to mention is that, in fact, I should make this at least 21 plus. Yeah, because I remember like my sister, she tried watching one of my 18 plus videos. I don't know why, what compelled her to watch one of it. I was like, I forewarned my family, do not watch my 18 plus videos, because then you're gonna learn some things about me that you probably could have dealt with not knowing. And anywho, she was just traumatized, so I was just like, okay. She's like, that's not 18 plus, it should be like 21 plus. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll just make my videos 21 plus, okay. And why I say that is because today I'm also got my vape right here. If you guys know me personally, I am of age, I am 24, legal state of Washington State, and this is legal, so this is a vape, and I'm going to be smoking as well as doing tarot at the same time, okay? Alright, smoke break. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start using the manga one. Shuffle this up. I really want to focus this on self-love, how we can improve more on self-love, what we can focus on as far as self-love goes, especially if we're dealing with self-worth issues. I always talk about mental health on here as well. Kind of want to do other future mental health videos. I did do a video on depression, spiritual depression, as well as spiritual anxiety, so if you're interested in that type of realm, then go ahead and check that within my channel. But I also am going to be doing future ones as well, as far as like PTSD, like as far as trauma based, and then self-harm will be separate, about different forms of self-harm, and then because I dealt with that within my past as well. Sometimes I still deal with that now, so a lot of things that I talk about is things that I've worked on within the past, but just more so like so it's like I always feel like there's always room for healing, but it's okay to be okay where you're at right now. It's okay to accept and be presently okay with where you're at right now, but there is always something that we're going to have to heal no matter what, until we, you know, transition on into the next world or whatever you believe in. So the first card to pop out is the Empress. Oh, I love this, that this is popping out right here. Okay, I don't know if it's like focusing. Let me see. Okay, my camera's kind of like wonky right now because of the lighting. Anywho, so yeah, it's a beautiful card. I'm getting more of like Taurus and Libra energy, more like Venetian type of way. So I love that we're talking about self-love right now, because when I pull the Empress card, she is all about self-love basically, and I'm talking about the card right here. Okay, so mind you, when I talk about divine masculine, divine feminine energy, I'm just talking about energy. I'm not talking about actual like genders, okay? So energy is fluid, so take what it does. But I'm talking about with this card right here, like the Empress, she's all about self-care and self-love. She knows her self-worth, like she sets firm boundaries. She's also balanced between her masculine and feminine. The Empress card is basically the ultimate like divine feminine, and it's pretty much what a lot of us divine feminines strive to be, is the Empress mode. That something moved over there, so but yeah. What I'm saying is that, like, basically, she definitely dwells into self-care, and she, like, what I mean by she oozes divine feminine essence is that she represents, like, the inner consciousness that we have, as well as the yin energy that we have within us. So she's very important to kind of get in touch with, especially if you're too much in your masculine type of side, like if you're too much in the Emperor energy. You know, because it's important to balance out the masculine and feminine energies within us, because a lot of the times we feel a lot of wonky and everything like that, and it kind of stems from us not being able to balance our inner masculine and feminine. You don't have to be a twin flame in order to balance your masculine and feminine, by the way. This can be for everybody, okay? So I was just talking about this to my sister as well, because she's also a Taurus. And I was just like, hey, you need to start being more connected with your divine feminine energy if you feel like kind of drained, or you feel like you're giving too much of yourself outwardly and not receiving as much back. Because sometimes what the Empress can do, like a divine feminine, like especially if you're too much in the divine feminine energy, we tend to give a lot more than we can take, and that can actually drain us, especially if you're dealing with narcissistic individuals around your household. Now, I don't really like to call everything narcissistic, because the term narcissism has been thrown around a little bit too much. In my opinion, I feel like the connotation, the real meaning of narcissism has kind of been blown out of proportion, alright? Not everyone's a narcissist, but we all have narcissistic tendencies, if that makes sense. And there's a spectrum when it comes to narcissism. But if you are dealing with energetic vampires as such, or even you yourself sometimes, like giving too much of yourself, can really be a drainage, you know? And it's really important to take the time and to learn to receive rather than just give all the time. So that's one thing that we can learn from divine feminine energy. And I told my sister, if you feel like you're drained out and you need like a pick-me-up or whatever, now would be the time to create a self-care ritual or a self-care routine, such as making sure to take care of your skin, your body, your temple, make sure to stretch, do stretches, do physical activity, as well as eat better, treat yourself to nice fruits, or treat yourself to like nice meals, you know. They're saying watermelon's like season of watermelon now that it's summer here, but they're just basically saying like Libra also represents the 7th house, which is relationships as well as love, and I can tie that into like self-love as well. So that's something that we can learn as well from Venetian like qualities, is basically a lot of goddesses and deities like to take care of themselves. They like to smell good, they like to feel good, they like to glow from the inside out, you know, doing your affirmations, you know, doing your exercises, you know, doing spiritual baths, you know, spiritual showers, like treating yourself to a spa day, you know. And even if you're not into that and you're more like tomboyish qualities, like I said, if you exhibit more of the masculine like energy, I know what that feels like, because I was also in predominantly masculine mode. I switch in and out from like when I was younger, because I am also on this twin flame journey, so I typically switch like a lot, like in and out especially. But that's how you know you're becoming a little bit more balanced, or integrating the masculine and feminine energy within you. Okay. Yeah, but like treating yourself, like treating yourself to self-care, you know, taking care of yourself, making sure that you are eating right, you know, sleeping right, making sure that your sleep hygiene is correct, like making sure that you're getting an adequate amount of sleep, especially if you dealt with insomnia, you know, or stress. It's making sure to release the stress and the control, you know, not worrying about the next day, making sure to just focus on the present moment right before you're about to go to bed. Also, I also need to work on this as well, but making sure that you're not exposing yourself to too much like activity before bed, as well as making sure that you're not, it's just like a self-care. It's like you listen to your body. Listen to what your body's trying to tell you, okay? That is the best thing, because people's bodies tell themselves something different, okay? What works for me may not work for another person, but creating a certain like sleep schedule or a sleep regimen will also help with that, and as far as spiking up your self-love, because that's making sure to take care of yourself for sure, okay? And also tending to your own needs and your wants. So King of Swords, oh, I love that. So this is the divine masculine energy. So this is also for, yes, if you guys were too guarded or too much in your masculine energy, it's time to exhibit the Empress, but vice versa. If you're too much in your feminine energy and you're not like taking action as much, or you're not taking control over your life, or speaking your truth, or standing your ground, and creating firm boundaries, or being grounded and firm in your beliefs, etc., that was the time to also connect with your masculine energy. Make sure that that's also balanced in between. But I'm also seeing for sure that for the masculine collective, like this is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. Again, with the Libra energy, for sure, a lot of Libra. Okay, so I guess, yeah. So Libra, a lot of 7th house energy, for sure. But this is learning to speak your truth, learning to create boundaries, like I stated, as well as learning to basically use the throat chakra in a healthy like ability. So making sure that, you know, your mind is right, that your mind, learning to balance out between like intuition and logic, as well, learning between using your heart and your mind in a way. So one thing for sure that we can learn from masculine energy is the logical approach to things, as well as not being so caught up within the head factor and not overthinking, but rather to basically, we can learn from the masculine energy to learn to take a step back, right? Rather than to just jump in right away, typically like the feminine energy would do. But one thing is that it's like a logical approach, okay? Maybe a little bit too logical as well. So if you feel like you do too much of a logical approach to things, such as running your mind rampant as far as things that you cannot control, as far as anxiety wise, I feel like if you're battling with thoughts or your mindset, etc., telling you things that, you know, are not true, etc., now is the time to really like focus on what are you telling yourself that are like lies to yourself. What are the lies that you're telling yourself? And just being able to be your authentic self, remove the mask, okay? So that's definitely beautiful, okay? Ooh, hoo-hoo. Whew. Okay. So the one to come up is the Queen of Cups. Oh, I love that. Okay, so this is the last third card. So Queen of Cups is the Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio type of energy, and that is also for the feminine as well. Like this is more like a feminine like energy, but mind you, it could be male or female, it does not matter. You can be any gender. Or it doesn't matter of the signs either. If I'm calling out signs, it just means the overall energy that I'm feeling. Doesn't mean it has to be in your chart. It could be sun, moon, rising, or Venus per se. They're saying also Mercury. But Queen of Cups is definitely like someone that is on the receiving end. This is exactly what I was talking about learning to receive, as well as, you know, to stand your ground, as well to give and receive. This is like my give and take card. And this also represents someone having an open heart chakra, someone that's more of like, they're not in that sword-like energy where it's more so guarded, like not, sometimes Queen of Swords or King of Swords can be quite guarded in a way. And like I stated about the more logical approach, whereas the Queen of Cups or the Cups energy is more so about the emotional state. Okay, so just like how I stated about what the Empress is learning to take care of your temple, with these two, it's like learning to take care of your mind and your heart, like I was just stating. Learning to use heart over mind or mind over heart decisions, discernment, etc. So like, say for instance, like, as far as like law of attraction wise, or self-care for self-love wise, telling yourselves like that affirmations, like telling yourselves that I am strong, I am worthy, I am kind, you know, that type of thing. Those like I am intelligent, I am smart, I make sound-based decisions, you know, like I make great decisions, you know, that type of thing. And also with the Queen of Cups, it's also making sure to say, I am able to receive the blessings that Spirit wants to bless within my life, or Creator, whoever you pray to, or not. Doesn't matter. You can be atheist. It doesn't matter. So whatever it is, like, because I feel like anybody can manifest it. It doesn't. You don't have to be religious or spiritual or anything, but one thing for sure is learning to receive what is best for you. So instead of like blocking it in a way. So it's like you taking the actions needed, steps forward in order to take towards the goals in mind, as far as taking care of yourself and telling yourself kinder and more nicer things, rather than like really mean and egotistical like things. But also to nurture yourself and be kind to yourself. Nurture your emotions, feel your emotions, not being ashamed of your emotions. Let it flow, let it feel it to heal it type of thing. Like learning to allow your, if you need to cry, if you need to purge, or whatever that means. Because this is also kind of like a representation of Cancer season that we're in right now. So especially if you're feeling a lot more emotional, we're kind of being more in touch with the, again, feminine side of us. So love that. I'm going to go ahead and use the Lenormand to go ahead and clarify for each one. Okay, also they're mentioning that since Venus is in retrograde right now, in Gemini, that also can represent, like right here with the Empress and the King of Swords, like Venus right now is in retrograde in Gemini, so that could also mean something and kind of tied to what's going on right now. Okay. When I think of Venus in retrograde, I think of Venus is on vacation, meaning that she's in the Taurus mode, more of the turtle mode, more of the earth energy mode, making sure to take care of the home, like in a way taking care of her house or her home, you know, that type of thing, because house can also represent your actual body, your mind, body, and soul, making sure to balance that out for sure. So clarification for the Queen of Cups, or actually no, clarification for the Empress. Let's ask that, because that's the first one that came out. Ooh, and also the Empress is a birth of something new, by the way. So this means that you guys are fertile or pregnant or about to give birth to something new, whether it's a new beginning of you taking care of yourself, or a new self-care routine, or a new ritual, or whatever it may be. You guys are learning to take care of yourselves in a newer way, rather than the old cycle-like way of how you used to beat yourself up, etc. So number one right here is what clarification for the Empress is, this card. And you know what's funny is that for me, like the carousel represents being on a certain cycle for quite some time and kind of getting sick and tired of it after going around, like round and round like a carousel, you know. They're playing the song Melanie Martinez Carousel, round and round like a horse on a carousel. Will I catch up to love? I could never tell. Okay, so, you know, it's basically saying that there's something coming from the 5D into the 3D. You are manifesting something over the rainbow bridge, because if you are seeing rainbows, that is an indicator from Spirit, as well as to have faith and a synchronicity to know that whatever it is that you're manifesting, that is a promise that it will come true. It will come through, basically. It's also to remain in faith that it will happen, but it's in transit as well. Also, I see that this feminine is wearing red, so this is all about being grounded and stable and being deeply rooted as well, and also being a free spirit just as much. Okay, so it's balancing that between that both, because one thing we can learn from the feminine spirit is being wild and free, right? And so horses also represent forward movement as well, so definitely no stagnation for sure. And if you are perceiving any stagnation, which basically feeling like not up to par, because one thing what the retrograde season and the lunar eclipse and the full moon in Capricorn pretty soon coming up, we can feel very wonky and just really messed up and kind of like and too tired to really keep going on and to continue on with certain routines and stuff, because even I fall into this line as well, because we're not perfect. However, it's like knowing to get back up on that horse and just keep riding forward, you know, even if you fall off of it every now and then, because you know the horse needs to take a break as well, so they're also saying that. But it's funny because I have let me show you, I'm just gonna show you a carousel right here and it was a gift to me from my grandmother back in the day. It was like, yeah, and I just remember really loving it, and it used to play Christmas songs. Oh my gosh, and I remember I was talking about July, like Christmas in July, so I feel like, ooh, maybe there might be a gift on the horizon for you. I don't know, maybe the gift of more self-love for you, like falling in love with yourself even more, or possibly a new love prospect, or a new love interest, or a new passion of yours, you know. So clarification for the King of Swords is the 40, which is the mask. Oh, I love this. So this is definitely for the Divine Masculine energy for sure, now that this is a clarification of the King of Swords. So I'm also sensing that, you know, Divine Masculine as well, but not to mention that Divine Feminines also wear a mask too. But I'm also saying this has to do with the lunar eclipse. I just talked about this, about the sun and moon, you know, coming together, as well as the moon cycle. I'm also sensing that 40, if you guys are seeing number 4s, or 444 or 404 or 414, that kind of ties into a masculine-like number. But I was referring to the 4 pillars earlier, about how important it is to balance out all 4 pillars, because I see the pillars right here, because I feel like it helps to form healthier foundations for yourself, right? As well as the building of new foundations and knocking out of old. So I feel like right now there is a removal of the mask, and to be your true authentic self for sure. It's like no longer wearing the mask or hiding behind the mask in a way in order to be your true self. So being authentic, for sure, the Divine Masculines are learning to embrace their authenticity and also claiming back their power, and, you know, recognizing that the kingdom that they truly are. Okay. So, also, I'm seeing more so like a portal or a gateway, and I failed to mention that there is a portal or a gateway that I was referring to for the Lion's Gate. But one thing that they're mentioning is the portal gateway for the 707. I feel like it's a 707 portal, and 712. It's going to be on July 7th all the way to July 17th. So something significant happening around that. So, ooh, at the bottom of the deck we have the wish card. So yes, I feel like this is old wishes coming true right now. I feel like right now what's coming through this portal as well, because I feel like, you know, if this right here is kind of heading towards the portal, it's about to go through that gateway towards you. So you're about to give birth, like I stated. Like, I feel like this right here is also a portal to give birth, you know, if you know what I mean. Right, so I'm also seeing that Divine Masculine energy is also about to give birth to something new, about to walk through a gateway or a portal way or a doorway. Okay, could be contributing to why you're seeing 1111 or 717, if you guys possibly are. Okay, clarification for the Queen of Cups. Okay, I had 2 cards that came out. So I had the number 29 and 37. So 10 and 11. So there's a sequence of 10 and 11 and forward movement. But I love that this is a clarification for the Queen of Cups right here. Why? Is because this represents, again, the Divine Feminine energy. Because I'm seeing the rose right here. Doesn't matter if you're male or female, right? Anything complies. The temple, the body in which the energy exhibits doesn't matter. It's just the soul that really matters, okay? Because we're both. But I'm seeing right now you guys are literally learning to be receptive, possibly gaining more knowledge, possibly more esoteric knowledge, reading and gaining up studying, possibly, or I don't know if you're going back to school or whatever, or if that's a possibility, or if you're just Another thing, that form of self-love is actually like working more on your mind and basically gathering more knowledge as well. So doing research on possibly things that you love or you're passionate about, or like studying more things for sure that makes you happy is another go that spirit is trying to say, like point you in that direction. Okay, and the rose definitely represents, you know, initiation as well. I'm definitely feeling, especially for the Divine Feminine Collective, for the, if you guys know about the Sisterhood of the Rose, okay? So, and this also, oh my gosh, I love that this applies to the Freemasonry as well as knightlyhood and samurai energy that the masculines are connecting to. So they're connecting to a lot of swordsmanship, bow and arrows, weaponry as well. Possibly could have military ties, or I don't know, past life ties to army or military, or has family that is associated with that. Or just they personally were, you know, served, you know, much respect, right? But the thing is like, definitely I'm feeling that this is a past life thing as well. I feel like this is tying into that as well. So this card right here represents my divine timing card. So time is ticking. So time is illusion basically. So it's also recognizing that this is a 37 reduces to a 10, which is an end or a completion of a cycle. So this is, I feel like Divine Feminine energy is definitely coming to the end of that cycle. And I did do the last video that I did for the Twin Flames, there was the Ten of Swords that came out. So I do feel like the Divine Feminine Collective is definitely closing out some sort of cycle for sure. And the Divine Masculine point is definitely working on stability, creating stability, possibly working on their house, working on like, yeah, like building, they're saying building a nest, or just more so their house. It doesn't have to be typically like an actual house. It just means like whatever environment that they're living in, just creating, knocking out old foundations and creating new ones for themselves. So you guys are at different points, but you're kind of working around the same thing in a way. So definitely everything, all of this is happening between divine timing as well as self-love. You know, sometimes, you know, there's days where we're going to have days where we're really beating ourselves up and going back to old habits, you know, but it also, it's like consistency is also key. So over time, like working, you know, over time, doing these different types of rituals or routines, or making sure to keep up on the self-care routine, it takes time. So it's also important to be very patient with yourself as well as others during this point, during self-healing, okay? So also Queen of Cups is important to learn to fill up your own cup, not to have somebody else fill up your cup. It's important to make sure that your cup is filled so that you're able to share it with another, so that you guys both have both filled cups, and it's like double the trouble basically, you know. It's a good sign. I used to be a believer that people like pour into your cup. Yeah, you guys can pour into your own cup, but it's also recognizing and knowing that you pour into your own self-love, your own, make sure that you make time for yourself is what Spirit is saying. If it's really important that health right now, like your heart and your health over the matter, is what's really important, to really prioritize what you're doing with your time, okay? And if you're using your time to promote more self-care within yourself, creating those routines, then you're going to benefit and reap those rewards basically, which is feeling a lot better, feeling more so in that Empress-like energy, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and pull the Whispers of Love Oracle. Love these cards so much. Okay. Yeah, for sure. Definitely, they're saying masculines are definitely removing the mask. It's like they're giving me the image. If you guys know Tuxedo Mask from Sailor Moon. Yeah, they're showing me Sailor Moon in Tuxedo Mask, and he would come in and throw a rose and be like, "Okay, now I'm out." And then Sailor Moon would be like, "Okay." And he would just throw a rose just for a little distraction, just to protect her, just for a little bit. And then he'll be like, "All right, you got this. I know you got this. Now I'm out." That is hilarious. Okay. Oh my goodness. That was my fault, guys. I got butterfingers. It's been so windy lately. Okay. Number 9, slow down, pause, and allow things to unfold. And number 32, relationship patterns, it takes strength to recognize the need for change. I love that. I love that so much. Okay, I'm just letting you look at that. beautiful images. I'm also seeing the two flames right here, which is the two candles. I'm also seeing the bridge. Also, this is a representation of the bridge of two worlds coming together and integrating, for sure, especially if you guys come from completely different worlds, or for sure that you are bridging the gap between you and yourself and your higher self, for sure, making sure that you are meeting yourself halfway in a way. So it's like, it's that point, you know. Take what resonates. But I'm also seeing the fish. This is more so Pisces energy, more so dreamlike energy. Pay attention to your dreams as well, because you could be receiving signs and as well as messages or answers within your dream state. Okay, for sure. But you guys are feeling like you're in this maze, this long journey, and you're feeling quite tired. So Spirit is saying that for self-care, making sure to rest. Don't overwork yourself. Don't just keep being on the go all the time, feeling like you need to overwork yourself, because this culture, it's really it's very toxic to promote having to work so hard to make you feel like you have value or to feel like you're important in this world. Like, whenever someone says that they like overwork themselves almost to death, it does not make me envious whatsoever. It makes me quite sad. It makes me feel like, oh my gosh, you're not taking care of yourself as properly, you know, and feeling like you have to slave yourself away. It's getting rid of that old notion. So Spirit is saying to slow down, exhibit that Taurus-like energy that I was referring to with the Empress card, and just learn to slow down and just kind of go within and get the rest that is needed, okay? Also, relationship patterns, take strength to recognize the need for change. So this is very important, because I see that I see the sadness right here. This person's very sad and also looking within a mirror. This is also making sure to look at yourself in the mirror, being able to be comfortable to look at yourself and face yourself and your inner demons, as well as recognizing the patterns and the certain cycles that you were in, making sure you take accountability for those actions and the past actions that were, you know, that happened within the past. But it's also knowing that, you know, closing out those cycles, leaving those behind, forgiving, as well as closing out those certain habits that you exhibited within the past that kind of made you into this certain point. Because I feel like this person is then like really exhausted. I did mention the Divine Feminine Collective, definitely feeling very exhausted after that Ten of Swords point, like after ending a certain cycle. So it's Spirit is saying get your rest, get some rest and rejuvenation, as well as the Divine Masculine Collective. You guys definitely are closing out certain patterns as well within relationships, whether it's family, friends, like romantic relationships, platonic, it does not matter. Relationship with yourself, making sure that you're having a healthier relationship with you, first and foremost, is very important. Okay, so it's definitely recognizing your own patterns, your own, you know, possibly toxic ways in which you can improve in a way, but also recognizing that it's important to just presently be okay with where you're at, and to take really a small, only something really small to really change a certain cycle, basically. It's kind of like that butterfly effect, for sure. But also Spirit saying mirror work, making sure to, you know, being comfortable to tell yourself affirmations within the mirror. I am beautiful. You know, I am sweet. I am deserving of love. You know, I am forgiveness. I am patient. You know, that type of thing. So, oh yes, 27, spiritual connection. A relationship has a connection that goes beyond this lifetime. Yes, so definitely for my twin flames or higher forms of soulmates. This also recognizing of relationship patterns in the past, letting go of that, and also to welcome new spiritual high vibrational connections in your lives, because that is exactly what you deserve. So I feel like this can represent something coming in the forefront as far as this goes, like a spiritual connection. Twin flames, you guys go way back. Again, this is this past life energy that I was feeling. This is also that bridge energy, the rainbow bridge that I'm feeling. So meet me at the bridge type of thing, like meet me halfway. So definitely I'm feeling the integration of the masculine and feminine energies coming together, right? And then number 2, if you long for more love, be more loving. I love this as well, because this represents you and your transformation and your growth, starting off small seed and growing into this a beautiful being, basically, and you gaining your wings and about to take flight, you know, off to your new journey, basically. And also, if you long for more love, be more loving. Basically, you are what you are attract. So if you're putting intentions out there, which is more love, choosing love rather than fear, you know, making sure that you are giving yourself more love rather than giving yourself more fear, then you shall attract more love into your life, okay? So it's basically teaching people how to respect you and treat you as well, all right? Especially for future spiritual connections, because this wants to come in. It says right here, there's like a new connection or a spiritual connection that definitely wants to come forward, all right? Okay, so I'm going to pull from the love messages and love notes. Let's see. Alright. This is between the masculine and feminine. We are both, so just take what resonates, but I feel like let's do separate. Okay, let's do feminine side of ourselves, like feminine side. What can we focus on? Like feminine to masculine. Any messages for feminine to masculine? Okay, masculine to feminine. We can always learn from one another, honestly. I always learn from my masculine side, and vice versa. I learn from the feminine for sure. So definitely can bounce off knowledge from one another, which is very important. Oh, okay. So, oh my gosh, at the bottom of the deck we have the twin flame. So yes, we are talking about the twin flames, which is basically divine masculine, divine feminine energy. But this, again, this can be for anybody. I'm sensing more so this is for a higher level soulmate and twin flame like relationships, okay? So feminine to masculine. Ooh, LGBTQ. So basically, if this can be like same-sex twins or same-sex relationships, this definitely resonates for you guys for sure, you know. So definitely within that community, or if not, if you guys are not a part of that, you guys definitely like vibe with it and you respect it and you definitely agree with it. You possibly fight for human rights for it, human rights for the LGBTQ community as well. Definitely respect the community. So I feel like that is also, if that resonates with you for sure. But you could also be like, you know, it could be either way. You could be bi or whatever it may be. It doesn't matter. There's a, yep. For sure. You guys are, so if this is definitely for between the same-sex twins, I'm definitely getting that for sure. Okay. Oh, I love that we're talking about self-love. Would you look at that? Wow. So, yep, we are talking more about self-love, focusing more, so feminine to masculine, definitely focusing more on the self-love aspect, giving more to his or herself. You know, it doesn't matter. It can be non-binary. Summer. We are in the summer right now, so definitely in the middle of Cancer season, so it's kind of talking about now. If you are at the bottom of the equator, basically you guys are in the middle of winter, so it doesn't matter. It means also summer can represent you guys having a birthday in summer, or something, this new beginning, or something happening within the summer, or something significant happening within summer for sure, okay? Embrace from behind, feminine to masculine, so definitely learning to embrace from behind, like giving hugs for sure, like connecting with one another, hugging one another, that type of thing, giving hugs. I did give a hug on my last video for my spiritual journey towards the end for everybody. So yes, it is like that. Also masculine, it could be like feminine wanting the masculine to embrace them from behind, you know, that type of thing. So, which is like really nice. Our love shall last for eternity. Oh, that's so beautiful. I love that. So for sure, a reminder that this is a love that goes way, way, way back, like for many lifetimes. So, you know, this says right here, a relationship has a connection that goes beyond this lifetime. So our love shall last for eternity. Love that. Ooh, autumn. Okay, so if this resonates, possibly the same thing with the summer thing, like something significant happening with autumn, could be the new beginning that's happening within autumn, or this transformation process definitely will be completed within autumn. Could be a birthday, you know, take what resonates. Ooh, late night phone calls and texts. So if you guys are already in union right now, you guys are already talking, especially with this new connection for sure. Or if you guys are in physical separation, doesn't matter because you guys are always in union. But for sure, if you guys are in contact and communication, you guys can possibly be staying up late at night, doing a lot of phone calls and text messages for sure. possibly like sexual messages, ooh, because I'm definitely talking about sex later, but for sure, like or also this could be like a actual late night phone call type of summer type of vibe that's going on. So you know, because the summer nights are a lot longer, or you know, that type of thing. Or it can mention like communication possibly within the future. All right. Ooh, I love this registry of fate. So this is definitely fated connection. You guys are definitely connected and bonded and tied together for sure. It's like also you could have like ancient like China or like Japanese type of ties as well, because I did talk about samurai like energy. So masculine to feminine is I'm choosing love over fear. Oh my goodness, I love that. Remember when I said about choosing love over fear, right? So they're definitely removing the mask for sure, and choosing love over fear. And you know, that's really nice. And they're learning to bring more self-love within their life as well. Masculine is saying to the feminine, so good job. Spiritual awakening, dark night of the soul. So yes, masculines are going through a spiritual awakening, dark night of the soul type of process right now. So it's important to be very compassionate and patient with the masculine collective, because I did make mention that Mars did go into the sign of Aries, and that can create kind of anger like explosion like tendencies, as well as like but it can also be like helpful toward taking a stance, as well as taking being grounded basically within your decisions, etc. So right now it's very important to be compassionate with the masculine collective, as well as masculine saying to feminine that they recognize possibly you going through a spiritual awakening or a dark night of the soul process, because you guys mirror one another. Okay. The lion, oh my god, the lion fell in love with the lamb. And okay, so this is like Twilight type shit. So this is like I said, you guys are coming from two different worlds. So basically two different cultural backgrounds, or different cultural religion backgrounds, like, or just different age gaps. It doesn't matter. It just could be something that's quite controversial that you guys, like, at first glance you're like, that don't look like it will fit, but it just works, kind of like yin and yang. So I love it. I love it. Okay. Also, we're talking about higher level soulmates as well. It's so funny that we have, like, at the bottom of the deck we have the twin flame thing and the soulmate thing, so another confirmation could be. So we are talking about, yeah, like the Edward Bella thing, you know, definitely. It will always be you. Oh, so masculine and feminine, reminder that also they could possibly be awakening to this connection, as well as this soulmate connection and what this means to them, for sure. Okay, so also, they said, like, the lion fell, like, something about what a sadistic lion, or and something about what a masochistic lamb, or something, or a stupid lamb. So it's like you guys, hold on. I just see the numbers 43, 34, so that could be significant, or 34, 43. Okay, so it will always be you. So it's basically like, no matter what, through any distance, through any different types of connections, whether they're in a different connection or not feminine, they basically are saying that it will always be you, divine feminine, for sure. Okay, because they see you definitely as the empress. Okay, right? So vice versa. So you guys are definitely like glowing and kind of like that pregnant energy for sure. But basically saying, like, they when I'm talking about the quote, the lion fell in love with the lamb, the lion you would think would want to eat the lamb typically, right, because it's a meal, but you would think that the lamb would also want to run from the lion because it's a lion, right? But for some reason, throughout all the different, it's like the Beauty and the Beast type of synchronicities, you know? They're playing that song. No. Okay. They're playing that song. I wonder why I didn't see it there before. There's something sweet and almost kind, where he was coursing, something the refined, and so unsure. I didn't know why I didn't see it there before. True and a bit alarming. Who'd have ever thought that this could be true? That he's no Prince Charming, but there's something simply didn't see. Okay, yeah, it's like, why are they playing that song? Okay, anywho. I see you as home. I love that. So definitely they see you as the North Star. They see you as home, divine feminine for sure. So they're coming home. So, or if they are already home and they're with you right now, you guys are in union, then they definitely see you as home. Like this is, no matter where you guys go in the world, no matter the distance, you will always be home to them. So that's really beautiful. Oh, remember what I said about age gaps? So there could be something controversial. There could be an age gap. So there could be like, that's probably something that they're worrying about too. Divine masculines are saying that, hey, this could be a significant age gap or whatever. Maybe whether the feminine is significantly older or the masculine significantly older. They're probably saying, ugh, might create a little bit of issues, but you know, that's just an illusion, right? Love sees past that, sees past those illusions, okay? Or it could mention, okay, another thing they're saying is that possibly, like, say for instance, if feminine, you guys are younger in a way, you guys could have like an older soul in a way, or if you're older, as far as human years, then you definitely have more of a childlike nature to them that they love. Oh gosh, truck. But one thing for sure, karmic distractions, thank you. One thing for sure is that, like, if, say for instance, vice versa, if divine masculines are young, they have more of an older soul, but if they're older, then they have more of a younger, they feel young again when they're around you, divine feminine. So they wanted to mention that for sure. Oh, I would love to court you. What are you, Edward Cullen? Because I feel like this is like, that's exactly what Edward said to Bella, basically. And was like, yeah, back in my day, since I'm over 100 years old, it's not really considered dating. I would court you, basically. I would treat you, take you out to certain places, you know, show you the world, you know, Aladdin style and shit, you know. You guys like Aladdin? That's also a twin flame story too, as well as the Aladdin series. But definitely wants to take you on a date, or show you the finer things, or just spend time with you, basically. Just be in your presence, in your energy. Last one, my heart is melting because of you. I love that. So that is beautiful energy. My heart is melting because of you, for sure. They had a colder heart, like I said, about the King of Swords energy. They definitely were a lot more guarded and just like, no emotions, no to love. Like, a lot of masculines are just like, I'm only going to focus on my career or just other things or whatever, but no to love. Like, don't make me feel. But definitely, for sure, they're saying, my heart is melting because of you, feminine. You definitely melt my heart. So keep doing that. Keep doing what you're doing, you know. So beautiful, beautiful messages. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close this off here. And then I'm going to go ahead and do a separate little part for the 18 plus if you guys want to stay. If not, then I'm wishing you guys all nothing but the best. Oh, by the way, okay. I just had to pull some charms. My bad. I'm going to go ahead and pull some charms. Oh, my butterfly wanted to come out. Oh no, that flew. Woo! So the one that wanted to come out was the butterfly, and I love this because I was just talking about transformation. Okay, so definitely that spiritual awakening, as well as the dark night of the soul process that the masculine collective is definitely going through. So for sure, it's that phoenix-like energy. Both of you guys are going through it for sure. Going through that cocoon phase, about to spread your wings. You know, it's very beautiful. Okay, the next thing to come out is the compass. I love that. I just seen the I see you as home card, right? I said you are the North Star, you guys. And definitely, I feel like the divine masculines are definitely using the compass to find their way home towards you, because you are north. So beautiful. Also got Starseed, so definitely for the Starseeds. Could have also Atlantis ties, but I'm seeing like past life ties, but I'm also seeing that this is for the twin flames as well, a twin flame symbol, as well as rejuvenation. Lips, possibly wanting to kiss, could be like the kiss of death or kiss of life, that type of thing. So transformation as well, waking up from the matrix. So that kind of ties into the spiritual awakening. Oh, I love this, the flower. So this kind of ties into what this feminine is holding right here, which is the rose. Right here. So definitely possibly could definitely want exchange flowers, because see you as a flower. You know, flowers can be a connection, could be roses can be your favorite, or it could be a different flower, does not matter, it could be whichever. Could be sunflowers. Spirit said that. Okay, so kangaroo, definitely Australia. So some ties to Australia, or it could be like wanting to travel to Australia, or it could be like that winter and thing, like winter and summer type of thing, that autumn and summer thing, like being underneath the equator, because Australia or people below the equator are going through winter time right now. So, ooh, I have this guy that plays football. So it's like this little dude that's running with a football. Could be like the need for more physical activity for yourself, for sure. Possibly like, yeah, the need for more possibly physical activity, or it could be something that you're into, or it could be like a suggestion to get into. I got this cross right here, so this is beautiful. It could also represent like Celtic roots if you guys have like Celtic like ties as well, but also it can represent someone having like a religious background. Like I said, there could be like you guys could come from many different backgrounds, like different types of backgrounds. For sure. Or getting more into like biblical knowledge or like ancient knowledge, etc., like going way back, learning more about that as well. So I have this ABC book card. So not book card, sorry. Okay, it's so hard to see that. It says ABC and it's like this little book thing. So basically it's a charm of learning something new, like tapping to the Akashic records, as sure. But I'm also getting like that Belle synchronicity of the Beauty and the Beast, because she liked to read books for sure. Okay. And that's something that they shared in common, was a certain hobby that they shared was basically books and reading and learning. So, oh wait, so this is, okay, we have two crosses right here. Actually, I was feeling the Celtic cross, but this is definitely more Celtic than this one for sure. So there's two crosses right here. This can also represent a spiritual union or a spiritual connection for sure, like a higher, yeah, okay, yep. I forgot that we have this card right here. So yes, this is definitely confirmation of a spiritual connection. Okay, and then we have the dove right here. So if you guys are seeing like birds or doves, stuff like that, it represents peace, prosperity, as well as like things coming forward, like peace, more love in your life. Kind of goes into that self-love factor. And then we have the apple, which is again ties into the spiritual awakening process, like waking out of the matrix. It goes into biblical times as well. So I'm seeing that, like, especially the Divine Masculine Collective is awakening. So that's beautiful, okay? And, yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and end this off right here. Much love to you guys. And then if you guys want to stay for the 18 plus, then go ahead for the stay a little bit longer. But if not, I'm wishing you well, and see you guys in the next video.